In the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a divine word spoken long ago by the prophet Jeremiah was about to be fulfilled. The Lord stirred the heart of Cyrus, a powerful king ruling over a vast empire. From his sunlit throne room, surrounded by carved reliefs and grand banners, Cyrus was moved to make a proclamation throughout his realm. He put it in writing, a decree that would echo through history. This is what Cyrus, king of Persia, says. The proclamation began. The Lord, the God of heaven, has given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and he has appointed me to build a temple for him at Jerusalem in Judah. Any of his people among you may go up to Jerusalem, and may the Lord their God be with them. Heralds on horseback thundered out from the capital, carrying the royal scroll to every corner of the empire. In bustling city plazas and quiet provincial towns, the king's words were read aloud. The decree wasn't just permission, it was a royal command with a promise of support. Cyrus instructed the people living near the returning exiles. Help them with silver and gold, with goods and livestock, and with freewill offerings for the temple of God in Jerusalem. The news spread like wildfire through the Judean communities in Babylon. For 70 years, they had lived as exiles, their hearts longing for a home they had only heard about in stories and prayers. Now, the king of Persia himself was telling them to go back. A profound stirring began, not just in the king's heart, but in the hearts of the exiles themselves. God moved the spirits of the leaders, the heads of families of Judah and Benjamin, the priests and the Levites. They began to prepare, their faces a mixture of awe, determination, and prayerful gratitude. Children watched, wide-eyed, as their parents packed bundles. Their lives suddenly pointed toward a new, yet ancient, destination. Their neighbors, seeing this divinely inspired movement, responded with generosity. Open hands placed silver coins, gold jewelry, and other valuable goods into the satchels of those preparing for the journey. They brought livestock and provisions, contributing freely to the great work that was about to begin. It was a beautiful display of support, a community coming together to fulfill God's purpose. But Cyrus's support went even further. He ordered the return of the sacred articles that King Nebuchadnezzar had carried away from the temple in Jerusalem decades earlier. These were not just objects. They were the holy vessels used in the worship of God, plundered and placed in the temple of a foreign deity. The king commanded Mithridath, his treasurer, to bring them out. In the quiet dimness of the royal treasury, a careful inventory was taken. Mithridath counted each piece and handed them over to Sheshbazzar, a man recognized as the Prince of Judah. The list was long and precious. 30 gold dishes, 1,000 silver dishes, 29 silver pans, 30 gold bowls, and 410 matching silver bowls of a second kind, and 1,000 other articles. In all, the count came to 5,400 articles of gold and silver. Each vessel was a link to their past and a promise for their future. Sheshbazzar received them with solemn reverence. These treasures were entrusted to his care, sealed and packed for the long journey home. His eyes were steady, his hands careful. He understood the weight of this responsibility. He was not just carrying gold and silver, he was carrying the heritage of his people. As dawn broke over Babylon, a great caravan began to form at the city gates. Carts were loaded, livestock were gathered, and the people assembled. Elders found their seats, while the young and strong guided the animals. Banners marked the group, a visible sign of the nation of Judah on the move. From the dusty streets of Babylon, they set out on the long road to Jerusalem. The journey was arduous. They traveled across desert paths, their steps marking the sand. They crossed rivers and rested by campfires under starlit skies. Day after day, the steady rhythm of travel carried them forward. Weary faces grew resolved, their spirits sustained by the precious cargo they carried and the divine promise that led them. Finally, they reached the crest of a hill and saw it. Jerusalem, the city of David, the holy city of their ancestors. But it was not the glorious city of Solomon's songs. Its walls were broken, its gates burned. The holy temple, the very reason for their return, lay in ruins. A wave of emotion washed over the travelers' sorrow for the desolation, but also a powerful, surging hope. They had arrived, their journey was over, but their work was just beginning. Reverently, They unpacked the sacred vessels, laying them out on the ground where the temple once stood. Sunlight glinted off the polished gold and silver, a beacon of hope amidst the rubble. Tools were hoisted, and small teams began to clear the stones, their hearts echoing the silent vow. Let us rise and build. Here, on the foundation of ruins, surrounded by the ghosts of the past and the promises of God, a new chapter was beginning. The road home had been long, but for the people of Judah, it was the first step toward a future rebuilt by faith and obedience. Thank you for joining us for this cinematic story from the Bible.